It is 7:21. A look at traffic. Eastbound 50, a crash at 59th Street. And still that accident westbound 80 near Madison Avenue. Traffic backed up to Greenback Lane. Traffic brought to you by ZeroResSacramento.com. Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned starting at just $139. Go to ZeroResSacramento.com to schedule right now. And now, here's Dan.
Sean, I'm with you regarding Rennell Brooks, the former PA announcer for the Giants. I was resentful from day one. I remember her first day out there, first time I saw her that first year, 24 years ago. She was awful. I mean, she wasn't. I take it back. That's unfair. She wasn't that great. She was okay. I didn't care for her voice.
Well, she got the job done. It just doesn't. She doesn't have the sound.
Right. The style is how you phrased it in the last hour, and I agree with that. And in my personal opinion, she was obviously hired because of her skin color and her gender. The SF Giants organization has sort of been the first sports organization to go woke, and bringing on someone like Rennell was an example of that. And then, of course, later on, they hired a first base coach who was female.
Is she still there, that coach?
Oh, is she still there? I don't. I
don't even know. I
have no idea.
I've stopped following the Giants, and I couldn't name one player in the team.
Well, I'm going to have to because we do fantasy baseball starting tonight, and then in my other league, I've never won over 20 years. I should sue, by the way, because I've never won for activism.
You should.
This is Sunday. I
clearly,
should. I probably will.
There's something. I mean, we'll find something to sue about. That's what we do. That's what we do.
Me.
Wait a minute. We're not leftists. I forgot.
Yeah, that's why I never win anything. But as you say, they're probably going to replace her with another woman who's probably going to be worse than this one.
Who knows?
That's the way it works.
Maybe, maybe it'll be a trans woman.
But what bothers me is when something like this happens, all the black activists come out of the woodwork and they start raising the specter of racism, blah, blah, blah. But
yeah, she was there for 24 years. What?
I know.
Sometimes people are going to leave for one reason or another. I mean, come on.
These black activists are very selective, and I'm one of the only people that's bringing this up. Jonathan Majors from the Marvel movies, he was playing Kang the Conqueror, was fired by a bunch of liberal white women over third-degree misdemeanor charges. Because liberal white women run Disney, and so clearly they had it out for Majors, and no one else is pointing this out but I am, because he was a major star, and again, if it was a felony, I get that. Third-degree misdemeanor charges are minor charges, barely worth going to court for. I have never heard someone's career destroyed because of that. But again, it was liberal white women who pulled the trigger on that, no pun intended.
Well, Dan, it's perfectly all right to hate on men. It's perfectly fine. In fact, it's even commendable in some circles.
Yeah. Anyway, but the days of, we were talking about the PA announcers, the days of Wayne Messmer, who was from the Cubs, and Roy Steele, long gone. They're never coming back, I'm sorry to say. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to McAfee Coliseum for tonight's game between the Toronto Blue Jays and your Oakland Athletics.
Roy Steele. That was just... Yeah. It was worth going to the ballpark just to hear that. I mean, I had people that weren't even great baseball fans. They'd go to the game and they'd hear that and go, man, who is that?
That was a huge part of the Oakland A's. It really was. So
he was there for
anyway. Those
I think almost 40 years.
All we have is activist hires right now. And speaking of activist hires, I'm also
now don't call me out.
You said, and I now agree with you that I am more qualified to sit on the Supreme Court than Action Jackson. What was her name? Ketanji Jackson.
You are.
What she said the other day.
Could be. You don't have to be a lawyer to be on the court.
Oh, and as Jackson is proving. As Jackson is absolutely proving. What she said the other day, saying that the First Amendment is, in essence, standing in the way of government. She was, of course, referring to the pandemic.
Yeah, standing in the way of government, which is what you're supposed to do.
Her point was that the government was trying to save lives and do the best it could during the pandemic. Problem was... Tyrants
always do it in the name of that.
It's been proven the government was wrong on so many levels. On these the reports that I've mentioned many times before, the Harvard study, the Stanford study, the Johns Hopkins study, and now the latest study from a number of doctors are all coming out saying, you guys screwed this up, and you killed more people than you tried to help. And because the government was so wrong, people at the time, we stood up and we said, whoa, we don't want to go in this direction here. We think you're going to cause harm. We were calling things out long ago, and we were all silenced by the government. Now, what's going to happen with this court case? What's probably going to happen is this. There's going to be a lot of finger pointing. The administration is going to say, oh, no, it was Facebook and it was whatever platform was, Twitter. They're the ones, silencing people. It wasn't us and all that. They're probably going to get away with it. But what bothers me is that the Republican Party still, has done very little other than maybe Senator Rand Paul. And here in our California Republican Party, to this day, they haven't said a word about the totalitarian restrictions put on us by Newsom and the Democrat Party.
They never will. Dan?
No, they never will. Yeah.
Well done, Dan, and thank you for talking baseball.
Hey, this is in honor of Roy Steele.
Thank you, Dan. We'll talk to you soon.
I'm tipping my hat. If I was wearing a hat, I'd be tipping it right now.
You're a fine American.
But a lousy Mexican.
See you later. It's 7:20.